Hello everyone, welcome to valuetrainings.com. In this example, I'll take up the topic of downloading and installing or configuring Selenium. Now, some people make a mistake of saying that I need to install Selenium. Well, there is nothing known as installing Selenium. You just need to have the latest DLLs of Selenium and just need to configure Selenium inside your Visual Studio project. Alright, so in order to configure Selenium, we will have to go to the official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org website. Out here, I go to the download section, and over here you can see the latest Selenium DLLs for C#, that is 3.3.0. You can simply download it by clicking on this download link, and it will get downloaded on your system. And then I'll not download the latest 3.3.0 DLLs because this latest version of Selenium is having many bugs inside it. So rather I would switch back to the previous version, and that I will download from the previous releases link. And over here you can see all the Selenium DLLs that have been come up till now. Alright, so I'll download the 3.0 version of the Selenium that is more better than the latest 3.3.0 version. So you can simply download the Selenium.NET 3.0. The zip file of it will get downloaded. Okay, so it has been downloaded. I go to my Selenium.NET. I'll simply unzip it first. And once you unzip the Selenium.NET, you get this folder. You go to the net40 folder, and these are the Selenium DLLs that you need to include in your Visual Studio project in order to work with the Selenium project. Alright, so I'll simply we'll open the Visual Studio and we'll create a new project. That is, I create a project known as configuring Selenium. And under this project, I will add all my Selenium DLLs that we have downloaded right now. Alright, so we'll include all the DLLs that in our project right now. For that, I'll simply, hold on, we will right click on the references folder. I select add reference, and then we will browse to our location where we have downloaded our Selenium DLLs. So it's there in your downloads folder, Selenium.NET 3.0. We go to the net40 folder, and these are all the DLLs that you need to include. Alright, so I'll add them and I click on OK, and as you can see, it gets downloaded in your Visual Studio project. Alright, and then now you can start building up with the simple .NET programs. For example, I have a class known as Selenium Basics class, which contains the main method inside it where we will be writing our code. And then you can create the object of the various driver classes. For example, a class known as the Firefox driver class, which will help you open the Firefox browser and work with the Firefox browser. Alright, so we'll create the object of the Firefox driver class, and then this Firefox, in order to write the code with the Firefox driver class, we will first of all have to import the namespace for it. So in order to import the namespace, you press Ctrl plus dot, and then you see it says we need to include the namespace openqa.selenium.firefox. I include it and I create the object of this class, new Firefox driver class. Okay, right, and then I'll simply execute my code. So in order to execute your code, you click on this start button. Okay, so when you run your script, it gives you an error message saying that driver service not found exception. That is, you need to install the exe file to make the Firefox browser work. Okay, that is, it says the gecko driver.exe file does not exist in the current directory or in a directory on the path environment variable. You will have to include the gecko driver.exe file in your code in order to work with the Firefox browser. So we will simply download this gecko driver.exe file first from the official website of Selenium, seleniumhq.org website. I go to the download section, and over here you scroll down, and under the third party drivers we have the Mozilla Gecko driver. So we'll simply download the exe file according to your system configuration. I download the 64-bit for the Windows. Okay, and I'll save it, and as you can see it's downloading, and we go to the path of it. So it is over here, and I'll simply first of all unzip it. Okay, so here is your gecko driver.exe file. So now what you need to do is you need to include the path of this gecko driver.exe file in your Visual Studio Code. Okay, that is, we need to write 3 lines of code. That is, first of all we will create the object of the Firefox driver service class. Firefox driver service is equal to Firefox driver service dot create default service. Okay, and out here inside this we need to give the path of our gecko driver.exe file. So I'll simply take it from here. Here is my gecko driver.exe file. I keep it over here, and after that you give the name of your gecko driver, that is gecko driver.exe it is. Okay, and then like we have to, in the path we have to put double slashes. That is, you can either put double slashes in your path, or else you can put @ symbol in front of the path. It will automatically take up the double slashes. Fine, and then after that we have to set the binary path of the Firefox browser as well. So my Firefox is installed in the C drive, program files, and I have Mozilla Firefox, and over here I have my firefox.exe file. I'll take this path and will keep it over here, and I put @ symbol. Okay, and then inside your Firefox driver you simply pass this service object. Okay, fine, and then one more thing. Firstly, in order to work with the Firefox driver you have to include the gecko driver.exe file in your code, and then secondly you also have to set the path of this gecko driver in the environment variable as well. That is, you right click on your system settings, you go to the properties, advanced system settings, environment variable, and then edit the path system variable, and out here in the end you give your path of the gecko driver.exe file. Okay, so I give my path of the gecko driver.exe file, which is this path in the environment variable as well. Alright, and then you click on OK and OK. Fine. Okay, so now if I execute my code again, I click on the start button. Alright, so now when you run this code you see that a blank Firefox browser is opening up. Similarly, we can even work with the IE, Chrome, Safari, with all the browsers like this. That is, we simply need to create the object of the respective driver class.